The first whisper of wonder, curiosity. Pull up a chair. Let's talk about how we actually become who we are. People always look at the polished product, the confidence, the resilience, the calm, and they forget the raw, messy scaffolding it took to get here. If I trace my life back to its very roots, the first trait I ever truly owned wasn't strength or cleverness. It was pure, unadulterated curiosity. I remember sitting on the back porch when I was 6 years old, watching a colony of ants navigate the treacherous canyons of a cracked concrete slab. To anyone else, it was just dirt and bugs, but to me, it was an entire universe unfolding in real time. I didn't know it then, but that deep, insatiable need to look closer, to ask why when everyone else accepted how, became the bedrock of my entire existence. It taught me that the world isn't a fixed painting. It's a living question mark, waiting for us to engage with it. The fire of discontent, ambition. As I grew older, that quiet wonder sharpened into something much more demanding. Ambition. We often treat ambition like a dirty word, as if wanting more is a sin against gratitude. But for me, it wasn't about greed or accumulating titles. It was a profound, restless ache born from the realization that my current circumstances were too small for the life singing inside my chest. I was 14, standing in the cramped kitchen of our rented apartment, listening to the floorboards groan under my father's tired footsteps as he counted crumpled bills. In that precise, heavy heartbeat, a fire was lit. I didn't want to escape my roots. I wanted to outgrow them. That ambition wasn't graceful. It was sharp-edged and fierce, pushing me past midnight study sessions and humiliating rejections. It taught me how to tolerate discomfort in pursuit of a distant horizon. The gift of the fall. Humility. Of course, when you fly too close to the sun on wings of pure ambition, gravity tends to remind you of your limits. My reckoning came in college, right when I thought I was untouchable. I had engineered what I thought was a foolproof plan, poured every ounce of my ego into a competitive fellowship, and watched it crash and burn spectacularly in front of peers and mentors alike. I failed. Not just quietly, but publicly, utterly, and humiliatingly. For weeks, I sat in the wreckage of my own pride, unable to look people in the eye. That was when humility carved its way into my soul. It wasn't something I chose, it was something I bled into. I learned that my worth wasn't bulletproof, and more importantly, that vulnerability isn't weakness. Stripping away my arrogance allowed me, for the first time, to truly see other people, not as rivals, but as fellow travelers stumbling through the dark. The anchor in the storm. Resilience. Humility broke the illusion of perfection, but resilience is what kept me from staying on the floor. A few years after that academic collapse, life tested me with something far heavier than wounded pride. Sudden, crushing personal loss. When the foundation of your world crumbles overnight, you discover a strange, quiet reservoir inside yourself that you never knew existed. Resilience isn't about bouncing back with a cheerful smile. It's about standing in the ashes and deciding that tomorrow still deserves to be built. I remember walking through the city streets at 3 a.m. during that period, feeling entirely hollow, yet taking one deliberate step after another. That trait wasn't forged in comfort. It was hammered out on the anvil of grief. It taught me that pain is an event, not a permanent address, and that endurance is the quietest, most powerful form of courage. Looking through another's eyes. Empathy. When you've survived a storm of your own, your ears become finely tuned to the distant thunder in other people's lives. That's when empathy bloomed in me, moving far beyond simple sympathy into a deep, radical understanding of human fragility. I was working in a demanding corporate role, surrounded by people who wore their stress like armor. One evening, a notoriously difficult colleague broke down over a missed deadline, and instead of reacting with frustration, I paused. I looked past his bluster and remembered my own dark nights. I stayed late, sat across from him, and listened, not to reply, but to understand. In that quiet office, I realized that everyone we meet is fighting a silent, desperate battle we know nothing about. Empathy transformed my relationships. It replaced judgment with grace and taught me that true connection is the ultimate antidote to isolation. The art of letting go, patience. If empathy taught me how to connect with others, patience taught me how to coexist with myself. For the longest time, I was a chronic force of nature. I wanted every goal achieved yesterday, every conflict resolved immediately, every seed sprouting the moment it hit the soil. But life doesn't operate on a digital clock. It operates on seasons. I learned this lesson the hard way during a multi-year project that stalled out due to bureaucratic red tape. Every month of waiting felt like a personal insult. Yet, as I watched the seasons change outside my office window over 3 long years, I understood the profound wisdom of waiting. Patience isn't passive resignation, it is active trust. It's tending the soil when there's nothing green in sight, believing deeply in the quiet mechanics of growth that happen beneath the surface. Finding the anchor within, integrity. As the internal noise settled, a deeper question emerged. Who am I when no one is watching? That brings us to integrity. Early in my career, I faced a crossroads, a high-stakes professional shortcut that would have lined my pockets and boosted my status, with zero chance of anyone ever finding out. The temptation was real. That compromise is just part of the game. But I thought about the mirror, about the quiet legacy I wanted to leave behind, and I walked away. It cost me dearly in the short term. Doors slammed, and colleagues looked at me like I was a fool. Yet, walking away gave me something infinitely more valuable, an unshakable inner peace. Integrity isn't about moral perfection, it's about alignment. It's ensuring that your private thoughts, your spoken words, and your public actions all sing the exact same note, no matter the cost. Dancing in the unknown, adaptability. With integrity providing my moral compass, I had to learn how to navigate a world that constantly shifts beneath our feet. Adaptability became my survival mechanism during a period of sweeping industry upheaval, where everything I had built over a decade became obsolete overnight. Panic tried to take the wheel, telling me to cling desperately to the old ways. But adaptability? That change isn't an executioner, it's an invitation to reinvent. I let go of my past identities, stripped off my old professional titles, and became a beginner again. I learned new skills, embraced unfamiliar tools, and discovered that the most terrifying moments of transition are often the birthplaces of our greatest reinventions. Life doesn't reward those who hold the line. It rewards those who learn how to dance with the changing rhythm. The gentle art of saying no. Discernment. Once I learned how to adapt to anything, I faced a new danger, saying yes to everything. I had become capable, resilient, and empathetic, which meant my calendar and my heart were constantly flooded with other people's emergencies. I was burning out, not from failure, but from misdirected success. That's when discernment entered my life like a pair of sharp, clean scissors. I realized that every time you say yes to something trivial, you are unknowingly saying no to something essential. Standing up to the pressure of pleasing everyone was terrifying, but learning to protect my energy, my time, and my peace of mind was the turning point of my maturity. Discernment taught me that boundaries aren't walls built to keep people out. They are filters designed to let the right things in. The full circle, gratitude. And now, sitting here looking back across this entire sprawling landscape of curiosity, ambition, failure, resilience, and discernment, I arrive at the final, overarching trait that illuminates all the others: gratitude. For a long time, I thought gratitude was just something you expressed when things went right, a polite thank you for a good harvest. But true gratitude is much deeper than that. It is a lens that transforms everything. It's looking back at the heartbreaks, the closed doors, the sleepless nights, and the crushing failures, and realizing that every single one of them was an indispensable chisel shaping this sculpture of who I am today. I wouldn't trade a single scar, a single tear, or a single misstep. We spend so much of our lives wishing we were finished products, forgetting that the beauty is entirely in the becoming. So, take a breath, look at your own jagged edges, and wear your story like gold. Thank you very much. Please subscribe, like, and share for more.